Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm just going to show you a fairly simple recipe today because we have got an absolute glut of Feijoas going on. We've got a hedgerow of Feijoas going along, not the whole length of our property, but across a good chunk of it, and they are producing like crazy and it's awesome. I'm loving it. Depending on how you want to do it, you can also incorporate apples, because we've got an apple tree that is still producing prolifically at the moment. So I'm going to make this an apple and Feijoa crumble slice. You can use just Feijoas, you can use just apples if you want to. So in a bowl, I'm going to put 2 cups of plain flour. This mixture is going to be both the base and the crumbly toppings. Half a cup of rolled oats. It can either be the small ones or the bigger ones, doesn't matter, I'm using the smaller ones. Half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and just a pinch of salt. Just going to give those dry ingredients a quick mix together. In another wee bowl we want 125 grams of butter. I'm just using cheapy margarine. So we want this just to be softened, so I'm just going to put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds. We're going to add half a cup of brown sugar into there and give that a good mix up. Into that I'll put 1 egg. I'll make an absolute mess of doing that and get some shell in the bowl as well, just to keep it real, just to make you feel coordinated. We're going to put our liquid into our dry. Give that another mix up. Going to get about a 20 centimetre-ish tin and grease that. I put just over 1.5 cups of that mixture into here. And I'm just going to reserve the rest of it for the crumble topping. And this actually forms quite a nice firm base for if you're going to end up letting it cool down and put it in school lunch boxes. It is absolutely ideal for that. But if you want it as a pudding with ice cream or cream or yogurt, it is sensational straight out the oven. I'm just going to pop that into a preheated oven at 180 degrees for about 12 minutes while I start prepping the filling. Now with the filling, I'm just going to use that bowl again. You want about 3 cups worth of small chopped up fruit. I'm going to use about 1.5 cups of Feijoas and 1.5 cups of apples. It's just these little sort of not very pretty ones that we grow, but they still taste good. So I always leave the skin on when I'm doing baking with them because I really like that tang. If you want to take the skin off, you take the skin off. You go for it. I have actually got a recipe for Feijoa skin muffins on my channel, which I'll link down below. I actually collect up all the skins after they've eaten the flesh of it and put them in a bag and put them in the freezer. And I just keep them so that then when Feijoas are not in season, I can at least do some baking with some Feijoa skin added. We're just going to put a tablespoon of brown sugar into here. And as I say, if you've got really tangy fruit, you may wish to add a bit more sugar, but it's just depends on taste. And 1 tablespoon of flour. And then we're going to add another ½ teaspoon of cinnamon and give that a mix up. Now when you first mix this up, it does look very sort of dry, but just keep giving it a bit of a mix and it will, especially if the Feijoas are nice and juicy. But yeah, just mix it until it's nice and sort of damp looking. It's damp looking and there's no dry bits. Okay, so that has just risen up a little bit, started to go a bit poofy. Just going to tip all this lovely fruit that base. Spread it out. I'm going to get this mixture and just break it up and blob it on. If you want to, you can add a little bit more flour if you want it a bit more sort of crumbly, but I'm quite happy for it to be a bit on the blobby side. That looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just going to pop that straight back in the oven. About 20 minutes or until the fruit's softened a little bit and the top's starting to brown off. Take a look at that. I've just let that cool down for a bit because otherwise it's way too hot to handle. That it just looks so pretty. Obviously, cut this up however you want. If you have this while it's really hot, dollop of ice cream, bit of cream, bit of yogurt, something like that. Let's have a taster of this. The #1 flavour you get here is Feijoa. I think especially because I left the skins on and everything, it's got quite a tang to it, and it really does, you know, this is a Feijoa slice. But the apple, you know, of course you can taste the apple too. The apple that I used is quite a tangy type of apple, as I say. They're like little mini sort of cooking apples almost. So you know, mine's got quite a tang to it. The actual dough itself, it's nice and substantial. It's slightly sweet without being overpoweringly sweet, and you can taste the cinnamon in it, but it's not overpowering. It's just that half teaspoon of cinnamon in the dough, I think is perfect. And because it is quite a solid sort of a base, it's almost like a little plate that you're eating it on. I think that's what makes it good for lunch boxes, which is mainly what I like to do baking for. Apparently Olivia has to have a taster on camera. She has to give her a professional review.
Mostly I just have to eat this, but the Feijoa skin adds a nice tang to it. So if you want it really sweet, you'd want to remove the Feijoa skin. But the Feijoa skin adds a nice tang which contrasts nicely with the sweet pastry.
Very good. Very
the
good.
The apple adds a nice texture to it as well.
It does.
Bit of bite.
Yes, you're not wrong. There you go, professional review from the main consumer who's catching up to me rapidly in height. Leave me a comment down below, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.